Good afternoon. Welcome to the studio again. Today we have two new students from English Language English Department, Erkaim, and Bermet from Translation Department, English and Kyrgyz Translation Department. You know, every Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock, we are just welcoming here two different students from different departments. But Yıldız Hanım and me stay same, right? Never. We are ever changing. Huh? And today again, we are going to talk about the movies and the feature movies, using the feature movies in English language teaching in both departments in general. And first of all, we would like to start with yesterday's movie. Yesterday we showed a movie called Gotika, and we are going to talk about a little bit. Yes, welcome again. So, yesterday you watched, or we all together watched movie Gotika. It was an interesting movie for me, and even though I watched second time or third times, and I was still thrilled. And most of the people, not the students maybe, don't like watching horror movies or psychological movies. See, the movie was full of everything. Just a few people were there, and then the events in the movie, the plot in the movie, were very difficult and different as well. So, what do you think about yesterday's movie? Just give me your opinion about your ideas, because you are here on behalf of your student friends, okay?
So, this film, I think, taught me to, how can I say, to understand people, to try to understand, because we also might be in their place in life, and it doesn't depend on his position in life. That's why even if this person is ill or has mental problems, I think we should try to understand what he or she wants to say to us, and that's why. And in general, I think it's a really interesting film about life, about relationship between people, and I get only positive sides from this movie, I think.
Were you scared?
No, yes, a little bit in some scenes, but in general, I liked.
You like it?
Yes.
So, what is your preference, or do you usually like? I mean, do you always like the movies based on psychologies,
yes,
or based on those kind of horrors?
Also, I like watch the psychological and also horror movies, and it was maybe because that I didn't watch it before.
So this is the first time, yeah?
Yes, it's the first time. I was really excited.
And how did you find the language used in the movie?
I don't know. It was easy to understand because maybe with the help of subtitles, or I could get it.
Yeah, that's right. See, I thought. I mean, in my understanding, I mean, I usually believe that, and women like the romance movies, but this is very interesting, right?
I like also them, but.
Yıldız Hanım, what do you think about it? Even though you were in the second half of the movie, you were there?
Yes, unfortunately I had some things to do, but when I came, I really wanted to watch the film because when I got handouts from you, but you know I was scared.
Yeah.
Yes, I was scared, and maybe even you noticed how I was just trembling
Yeah, we were
sometimes.
tense, huh?
Yes, but I think that all the genres were to be shown. That's why it's good, and language was very.
Yeah, it was very clear.
Yes, clear. Yes,
Clear,
I like
yeah.
this.
So very, very clear, understandable. Maybe because they made it clear. I mean, much clearer. So the audience should understand, or the viewers could understand the movie better. Yeah, I mean, there was no dialect in it. Oh, I mean, most probably in Illinois. It's Illinois, right?
Illinois.
Yeah.
Yes. Pronunciation also was
Yeah,
clear.
very clear.
Yes.
Yeah. if you are familiar with American English. If it were British English, it would be different, right?
Yeah, of course, totally different.
Okay, Erkay, not
Uh,
Kanike. And what do you think about yesterday's movie? And just your opinion.
Actually, I found it horrible because I really scared. And
You got scared, huh?
yes, maybe it's because I didn't like, but uh, I don't interested in such kind of films. That's why. Actually, I saw only let's say 70% of this film because I was so scared. I closed my eyes and then I opened.
So close your
But-
eyes, you kept you safe, huh?
Yes, but
It's very interesting.
I understand.
Close my eyes, I kept my safe. No, nothing happens.
But I understand plot. I really catch main idea, I think, and it really helped me now to understand. Yes, it's hard to be let's say, it's hard to understand such kind of people. But I understand that we have to try to understand them.
You mean we have to try to understand psychologically ill people,
Yes.
but sometimes it is not easy to understand them because psychos are psychos, and you can never get into their world. And here, it's a kind of feature movie. See, they just the events developed itself. I mean, in the movie, throughout the movie, from the beginning to the end, it's a scenario. But again, you're right, and it shows us, it tells us, and it emphasizes that we have to be careful about to understand the people who are psychologically. I'm
And not
telling,
also
I'm telling in
psychological.
quotation, ill. Okay, and every individual has psychological problems. I mean, very intensive or very clear and very little, but we have some. See, we are made up of psychology, right? Anything you can add?
And as my group mates said that they really liked this. My group mates really liked.
To tell the truth, at the very beginning, Yıldız Hanım, I thought students won't like that. And
Because of the
because
genre?
these are the horror movies and the psychological movies, and people don't like that very much because it is tiring.
No.
You have to get the plot and understand what's going on. So I thought at the very beginning, the students won't like that, but I'm glad you like it. I'm glad, yeah,
Maybe it can be tiring, but at the same time, it is really, exciting.
Yes.
You want
Yes.
to know
yeah.
what is happening.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe your
eye-catching, yeah.
predictions cannot be the same as in the film.
Yeah, that's right.
This is
So, well, at the very beginning, most people don't like to spend much time on psychological things, and they have to see the easiest things and romance, those kind of things. See the comedy maybe. But yeah, we have sometimes maybe, sometime in future, we might show them some comedies, yeah.
Yeah,
Why not?
of course.
Yeah, anything to add about the movie? All right. So, as you see, you were not here, we were here, as I said earlier, and we were discussing the uses, the advantages and disadvantages of using feature movies in English language teaching. We discussed a couple of times. But again, we would like to have your opinion with Yıldız Hanım. And what do you think about the advantages and disadvantages of using feature movies in English language teaching as an extracurricular activity, not just included in the overall curriculum? It is an extracurricular activity. And extracurricular activities are usually presented to students voluntarily. And we invite the people voluntarily to come and watch movies. We never force anybody, right? We invite, we just announce, we just give handouts, And if they would like to, if they desire to be there, they come.
Yeah.
But it is not the same in some other countries. If it is an extracurricular activity, sometimes it is a kind of hobby and it might help people to be there to improve their English, because it is a very formal instructional thing that in the movie theater you are there, you're watching and discussing something. So, Jules Hanım, you are going to start maybe.
About the advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah,
As
and as an
extracurricular.
extracurricular activity in ELT.
I think that we mentioned about it
Yeah.
before, yes, and exactly I want to be concentrated on yesterday's film, you know. Yes, it was horror film, we said, yes, but at the same time, I think it was very deep psychological movie.
Sure.
Yes, and let's say like this, except maybe some vocabulary or some other, let's say, activities, yeah, students also can create, develop their logical thinking, I think.
Sure.
Yes, so this is maybe, let's say, one more plus
Yeah.
of this exact film. And again, I just want to say that I am for this, I support it, and even I mentioned that it can be even maybe not extracurricular, but it should be included. Yes.
You always emphasize that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I always.
I mean, I'm not sure about that, how we can just include that in the overall curriculum body. But what I would like tell you, which is I value that very much. If something is extracurricular activity, if it is voluntary, and I was expecting people and students to come to the movie theater and watch the movie and then discuss everything with us, share everything we did or we have done so far as an extracurricular activity to help our students. You know, we've been there every week for 2 hours at least, or 1.5 hours at least, and we spend our time. We save our time for our students. But I don't think they show the same delicate understanding. And if they were, they should come there and they should be with us. Maybe depending on some circumstances, maybe depending on their courses or some other things, some other reasons, they won't be able to show up. Anyway, do I have to just repeat the prompt? Or what do you think about, as a student, of course, what do you think about disadvantages and the advantages of using feature movies as a extracurricular activity?
So watching films in English, it's, I think, for me, it's the best way of learning English, of improving my English, because with the help of the subtitles, I'm just increasing my vocabulary bank. And also, when we read books, we just like imagine. But when we watch the films, we see the exactly, how can I say, things. We can watch everything. We can, how can I say, I from movies learning the idioms, different slangs, which is not in their books. I can't find them. So I'm just getting only advantages from these activities, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you think about that? Okay, same prompt.
Okay. I think that it has a lot of advances because, as Bigma mentioned, we increase our vocabulary, we increase our, for example, colloquial words, idioms, and so on. And it really helps. For example, at lessons and so on, we just mostly we pay attention to our grammatical meaning of these words, and in this section, we also we can get a lot of new, maybe not formal, but a lot of new words, a lot of new idioms, collocations, and so on. And we also can understand also pragmatical meaning of this context and so on, sentence and so on.
So you mean authentic language, right?
Yes.
Most of the time, some of the movies are not very authentic. it is sometimes difficult for us to understand because they use a lot of archaic expressions, many classical expressions we don't understand, at all. So it is both advantages and disadvantages. In terms of visual understanding, visually, and sometimes people have visual memories. We all have, right? It might improve our visual memory. It might also help us our understanding. See, but I don't believe that it is as useful as reading, but it is useful as for visual memory, right? And another thing about this advantages and disadvantages. See, the movies are done for entertainment. They are not done for instructional purposes, right? But we use that for instructional purposes. This question is going to be just answered by you. Let's say when the students come to watch the movie in the movie theater, how do they behave there? They should sit and relax, or they should get some useful things from the movie for their understanding or for their improvement in English language learning. Any idea?
I think the second one is to.
And of course, you give your own idea.
I just don't like to waste time. Just wasting time. I want to get something useful for me, because it's I think necessary one of things. And when I also, of course, I can watch this movie at home, yes, but in cinema salon it's more exciting. And when I can't be relaxed, I'm just trying to catch the new words from the subtitles. Of course, I can't remember them, but I'm trying to catch them. Anyway, that's why I think we shouldn't be relaxed. Just watch it.
You can watch that movie in your house. No need to come here to the movie theater, right?
Yes, but we don't have such kind of big room, big screen at home.
Yeah, it is a kind of, it's a part of the extracurricular
Yes.
activity. So we want students to believe in that. This is going to be done as part of an extracurricular activity. Yes.
I also think that we shouldn't relax, but I can say
No, you
that
can be relaxed.
no,
Don't
I mean
Don't be tense, huh?
no, I mean we should pay attention to film, to the language, in order to catch something.
Yeah.
Not to just to spend time, waste time. So, but to be honestly, I can say that all of us, we are concentrate on
Yes.
just focused on this movie. But I really got a lot of new words from this section, from the beginning. But in some cases, in some situations, for some people, movie cannot be so interesting. So I think that in this case, they have to just left room, because they just not to waste time. And if you're interested in this movie and if you want to get something, you should come. If you want to just relax and so on, it's
Relax
more
at
useful
home.
to go, just to go.
Yeah, some universities in Bishkek, I believe, might not have such kind of facilities.
Yes.
And if we have this kind of facilities, we have to just make use of that, right? That's why we're just trying to do that. And they span, we save 2 hours every week on Wednesday, and we motivate our students. Maybe, you might help us. We have to invite them, we have to motivate them. First of all, the advantages of watching that movie as an extracurricular activity to improve their English. Yıldız Hanım, would you like to add something?
Erkaim has mentioned about that sometimes we cannot suit maybe the interest of learners, and when
We don't know exactly their likes and
yes,
dislikes.
and in this case
So
maybe
it is a
can
problem
be disadvantage, I think. Yes.
for movie choosing.
Yes, for movie choosing, because when I just announce coming movie, for example, to students, and I just can see their reaction, you know. And when I say just the name of movies, some of them they get, wow, yes, we will come, and the rest get, oh, so, you know. And this can be disadvantage, I think. My opinion.
Maybe next time, not this year, at the end of, at the very beginning of next year, we might have some survey, a
Okay.
questionnaire about the choosing of the type of the movies. Well, we did that in Turkey. I did that myself and for my paper, but we had a very dispersed answers. And some, let's say 30% liked the horror movies, 30% liked the action movies, romance, classical movies. For example, Gone with the Wind. It's about 60 years ago. It might not say anything to this generation. We came to the end again this week, and we discussed a couple of issues about watching the feature movies in English language teaching for the purpose of English language teaching. And we had the opinions of our students and Yıldız Hanım. And next week, we're going to just have another discussion topics, issues. Most probably the language used in the movies, the use of the movies in terms of helping students in translation departments and in English language literature department. So hope to see you next week again. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.